Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. My name is Ralph George. I'm the founder and the creator of Smilefy, and thank you very much for your invitation.
Our webinar.
Let me see.
My name is Ralph George.
Okay. So I'm very happy that you are with us today, that you have accepted our invitation. We do have a very exciting topic because Smilefy becomes more and more clinical, and with Smilefy we can create more and more complex cases. And it's exciting to talk about the implant planning or the full art implant bridge planning. We do have today a very cool and easy to follow workflows, and very excited that you are here with us today. Thank you very much for your time, of course. It is apparently a very interesting topic because we have over 300 registrations. So everyone who cannot be with us right now, we're going to send you the recording. Let me check if we record. Yeah, we record. So we're going to send you the recording afterwards. If you cannot, of course, join the live webinar, we do have another one at 6 o'clock Eastern time, and very excited to show you the new developments of Smilefy and the new way we can plan smiles. So as you know, the first page of Smilefy shows you the real-time smile designs in the world. And that's a beautiful thing because we see everywhere where the countries have a color, right? Everywhere in these countries, people right now, they design smiles. And I mean, that's the best thing we can do, because at the end of the day, no war started with a smile, right? So when people give a smile, they get a smile back. So that's the most beautiful thing that we can do. So today we're gonna talk about the full art implant bridge and the designs and the workflows. We do have a very good friend of mine, my brother, hermano Adrian Granella. He is a dentist in Argentina. He is a professor at the University of Argentina. I don't know the name exactly. So we work with Smilefy together. We have unbelievable cases. Adrian is creating really very special cases. He's going to show, for example, one case that I'm going to show you. He's going to show the result and the whole treatment that was done on this patient. And it's going to be very intense, but I think very exciting. So we do have also with us Samia, our integration consultant. Samia, where are you? So if you have questions, if you have...
Hi, Ralph, I'm here.
Hi, Samia. Hi. So if you have questions, if you have something that you want to ask,
in the chat, okay?
In the chat, Samia is going to answer all your questions. So please feel free to ask questions. Please feel free to discuss, because I think the workflows that I'm going to show you are very interesting, guided. They are fun. That's the most important thing, because when we have such cases, we need really to have fun and to be inspired, right? To be inspired by the technology to create something beautiful. So when we want to design the full art implant bridge, we do have two workflows that we can use with Smilefy. We do have the pre-op design and we have the post-op design. What does it mean? So we do have the patient. The patient comes into our, into the clinic, and you want to design the case. For the pre-op design, you need pictures you need the scan, the iOS scan, and you need the DICOM file eventually, not necessarily. Why? Because we see the situation of the patient. We need to start with some point. We need to start somewhere, and based on the first design to bring new data, new diagnostics, and then build up the treatment plan based on everything what we have. But first of all, the most important thing, and that's the basic philosophy of, I think, smile design or facially driven smile design, we start with the face. So no matter what the situation of the patient is, in the first step, we start with the face because we do a facially driven smile design. We want the patient to look good. We want the patient to look in harmony with not only with his face, but also with his personality. We want to design the smile first, and afterwards, we're gonna backwards engineering the smile to the treatment plan, and then we're gonna see what needs to be done to make the smile a reality. So the pre-op design is pictures, iOS scan, eventually the DICOM file, not necessarily, but pictures and the iOS scan is the most important first step, and we're gonna design facially driven. The post-op design is a little bit different because the post-op design, we need more data. And the thing is, we're going to build up the first project, the pre-op design. We're going to build up the pre-op design project with the post-op design project because we're going to use the same pictures. We do have the intraoral scan, the original one, but eventually we do have the iOS scan with the scan bodies because now we have the position of the implants. We have the DICOM file. We eventually have the implant position, right? The implant position that you have planned in your implant software, right? So now you know exactly where the implants are, and we are going to adjust the gingiva and adjust the design and the situation based on the new data, the new patient records that we have. Of course, here the second step can be different because eventually you have the surgery done, and you recorded the position of the implants with Peak Dental or with iCam, right? So now you have a digital object, an STL, with the position of the implants, with the scan bodies. You have eventually a new vertical dimension of occlusion. If you have a new vertical dimension of occlusion that you have done with a bite registration in the mouth of the patient, you are gonna Colty. Colty, oh my God. Excuse me. I do have a little doggy who protects the webinar. So if you have, for example, a new vertical dimension of occlusion with the bite registration, right? Then we're gonna recalibrate the lower jaw, the new vertical dimension of occlusion, and we're gonna design the bite properly. So let's start with the first step. Let's start with the pre-op design, and I'm gonna show you in Smilefy how this design is working. So it is very exciting on one side because with the new features that we have in Smilefy, we do have, with the CAT features, we have a complete new world of opportunities and possibilities to design and to do stuff, right? It is, it becomes more and more clinical. That's something that I like very much. And now it becomes more and more complex, of course. So one of the first problems that I see very, very often is if you have a patient with a really bad situation, it's very, very hard to get the picture properly. The frontal facial smile, because we want to design the smile whatever we design, full art implant bridge or the smile, facially driven, we need enough space in the mouth to design the smile, to analyze this face, to analyze the lip, and then to design the smile. That can be a challenge because patients, they cannot open the mouth properly. We had a case, for example, where the smile, the bite, the upper jaw was, the patient didn't have any teeth at all. So the lower jaw and the upper jaw, they were collapsed, right? And then even if the patient tried to smile, it was the maxilla and the mandibula, they were collapsed. So we didn't have enough space to create the vertical dimension of occlusion, new, and to see in the face, to see in the picture how everything looks like in harmony, you know, with the picture. So that's a case that Adrian Granella did. As you can see, we do have this kind of smile. It's very, very complicated for these patients, right? To open the mouth, to smile big so that we have enough space here in this area to design. With the retracted, we see the situation. There are really challenging cases, so that it's nothing easy. And then we have the intraoral scan. In this case, we have the intraoral scan, and you see it is very, very challenging here, even to calibrate the picture with the intraoral scan because of the of this situation of the patient. But I love these cases, or I love these challenges, because that's real life, right? It's not the ideal situation. It's never the ideal situation. So we need to develop workflow that really work for this kind of situations. So what we did, we calibrate first the picture with the intraoral scan. And then we need to start somewhere, right? We need to start somewhere, and we design now the upper jaw. And then we're gonna see where to go from this first step. But we need to see, and we need to find out how everything is working. The calibration was really hard because the picture and the intraoral scan is it was very, very hard to bring them and to calibrate, to superimpose them. So I did it before because I just wanted to have all this stuff done, and then we can go and work on the design. And also the design was a little bit tricky because the intraoral scan and the midline is different than with the face. So that's a challenging case, but that's good because we can see all these situations and design, you know, considering all the real life challenges. So when we have, for example, when the picture is when the mouth is open of the patient, right? When the mouth is open, then we have enough space to see landmarks, to see in the intraoral scan and the landmarks in the picture, so that we can superimpose. So in that case, I really tried to find, even in the gingiva, some landmarks here or here, you know, and to set the same points on the intraoral scan so that we can superimpose all this stuff in a way that is somehow working, right? Somehow working. So the calibration is done. So we have now the digital patient. So let's start with the 3D smile design. And this case is very tricky because we start with the calibration of the scan, and we do have some visual references of the palatal area, which we're going to use to set the occlusal curve. Based on the occlusal curve, we're going to generate the smile frame and the position of the teeth. And then with the tools that we have, we're going to be able to adjust the position in case we do have issues. But I'm going to show you in a second. Let's see how quick my download is today. So do you have questions so far? Okay. If you have questions, if you have something, please. Yes, it's going to be in replay. We send you the, can we import DICOM file? Of course. Yeah. Yes, we do have the DICOM file inside Smilefy with DiagnoCAD. So DiagnoCAD is integrated in Smilefy, and you can do the segmentation inside Smilefy. So you get the CBCT bone inside Smilefy, and it's perfectly done. Good. So we're going to go with the upper design. Akil, the problem with the calibration is the calibration, the points that you need to set on the picture and on the intraoral scan need to be very, very precise, because, you know, even 1 degree or 1 millimeter shift on the tools, the calculation is so precise, even 1 millimeter shift is gonna calculate a complete different angulation. That's why, depending on how good the landmarks are visible and how good you can set the points on the STL on the picture, otherwise there is really, the only way is to do the calibration manually, right? Adjust everything and do the calibration manually. So here is our occlusal curve. That's what we do in the first step, because with the occlusal curve, we define our arch. So let me try like this and like this. Now, you see, here is the first challenge. It is almost impossible for us to find out or to think what is actually the midline of the palatal area, right? I do see the midline of the palatal area. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn, using the grid as a reference, I'm gonna try to turn the intraoral scan so that I have the midline of the palatal area very clear, defined, and vertical to my occlusal curve. And I don't recognize much, right? Out of this situation, I don't recognize much. So I need to start somewhere. I'm just starting the way it is. I try to think, or I try to keep this midline of the midline of the palatal area as the midline for our design. And I'm going to set the occlusal curve like this. I think the size of the arch is pretty good. That's okay. Let me see, like this. The size is okay. And I'm going to generate the smile the way it is, because I don't have any other reference, right? So that's a challenging case, because if we do have enough landmarks, if we do have enough references, everything is fine. But if we don't, then we really need to start somewhere and then see if that works. So let's go to the next step. We go to the next step and we set now the 3D smile frame. Also in a way that we think is going to work for us. So I'm going to reduce here a little bit the height, more like this. I'm going to change the occlusal curve or the occlusal angulation. And I'm going to bring like, yeah, I think like this, it's fine. You see, it is something that we just need to do in a way or the other. There is no way we can make a right decision right now based on the material that we have here. So it's just the starting point. Good. So we're gonna choose full arch. We're gonna choose full arch, and for full arch implant bridges, I can activate all teeth so that the size of the arch remains the same according to the central ratio. So if I reduce the ratio of the centrals or the width of the ratio of the centrals, everything reduces with 1 unit, right? So I don't need, in this case, to go and set somehow all my teeth and the distal and mesial lines, because it doesn't help anyway. So I think the size of my arch is fine, and I'm gonna now generate the smile and then see where this generated smile leads us, right? Excuse me. So now, as you can see, we do have a nice generated arch, a nice generated smile. The teeth are all in position. We have the correct occlusal curve. We have the correct position of the teeth. So let's go to the facially driven smile design. Okay, I'm back with a glass of water. Now, what I can see from our intraoral scan in this view, right? It's not even so bad. The position of the teeth and everything what we have here, it's not even so bad. But the problem is facially driven smile design. Here is the problem. That's the position of the jaw. That's the position of the jaw with the face. So we need to actually reposition the whole arch in a different way. Here looks good, but it's not. It's not. It's facially driven smile design, and we see the midline that we have considered here actually is completely wrong. For that reason, and that's a very, very special case, and I'm happy that we have such cases, because then we can improve the workflow and we can see what we can do to change all this stuff. I group all the, I have the group option, excuse me, so the smile frame option here, the smile frame option, right? The smile frame option on and the group on. That helps me now readjusting the position of everything in a way that we keep everything together. Because otherwise I need to readjust every single position of every single tooth, and it's gonna be too much. Option on, group on, smile frame on, tools. Now what I can do is the following adjustment. You see, I can change everything like this. I can change the angulation. Let's see where we are in the face. Unfortunately, that's the challenge. Unfortunately, because the picture is not, the smile is not big enough, right? It's not, the mouth is not wide open. We do have, you see, we do have now less visual reference on the face. And we cannot now really decide, if the position is good or not. Now, of course, the next challenge is the vertical dimension of occlusion, right? The vertical dimension of occlusion. But we need to start somewhere. That's the point. We need to start somewhere. We can create a mock-up now. We can do something that helps us analyzing the situation, designing the smile, finding the right shapes eventually for the patient. Let me go and adjust here a little bit like this. Okay. But even, no, maybe more buckly. And like this. And also here buckly. Also, what we can do, and that's, I think that's a very, very helpful feature that we have now integrated. Maybe the size of the laterals, we're gonna increase them both on both sides. Let me, like this. Here we go. This is good. I transfer the size from right to left, from left to right, whatever I need. And we start somewhere, right? Now, we have integrated the templates in a way that it's much more visual to understand the form of the teeth, like this, for example. You do have the rendering that we have, the renderings, you see, with colors, with that's our 3D rendering, with light reflections. And then you can have below, you can have the template tooth by tooth so that you can check, how every single tooth looks like. And you can use the arrow to, for example, see the next group of templates. It's J01, D, more triangular shapes. What do we have? AL, right? More round with open embrasures. Now we have here F01 from Jan Haito. So now you see the group and you see how the smile actually looks like when it's yeah, when it's done in the face. If you, for example, now what we can add is gingiva, right? We can add gingiva. We don't know yet what is going to be the treatment. It's just the starting point, the treatment. Maybe it's going to be the bone is going to be cut, surgery, the bone is going to be cut. We have a full art implant bridge. We select the gingiva. And we, let me bring now the gingiva down. You see, that's our prosthesis. I can actually decrease the size like this, just to make it fit. Yes, it looks good. I can put on my light reflections, and of course the 3D rendering, right? The 3D rendering. And I have now an idea. I can print, I can take this design, export the design the way it is into my implant software. Based on the design, I can set with the design calibrated with the intraoral scan, I can plan my implants, I can plan my surgery. I know the design is here, and that's gonna be the design, right? I can change the templates if I need a different form of the teeth. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the patient says I want F8, or maybe we decide F8 would look nice You see, now we have F8. We don't need to redesign. That's the most important thing. F19, we don't need to redesign. We do have eventually small adjustments, but I can see how everything looks like, right? Look like by just exchanging the templates. Now we do have the 3D layers. Here we go, and yeah, that's the design, the workflow of the design that we do, starting with the face, starting with the situation of the patient, analyzing what is actually the problem, where can we go with the design and everything. And then when we want to export and to print and to take this design into the implant software or to the next step, what we can do, we do have the CAD features, right? We do have the CAD features. So we're gonna union, for example, the intraoral scan, no, the gums, so the gingiva prosthesis with all the teeth, like this. And then out of our design, which is tooth by tooth and the gingiva, we're gonna get one file that we can export, calibrated in the same position to the intraoral scan, and then we can continue with the idea, with the treatment, with the analysis, with the diagnostics. You see, now we have one file. One file. If you have a full art implant bridge, you can export this file, import in your software, implant software. You have the intraoral scan. It's calibrated automatically with your full art implant bridge. They are in the same position, so you can import and then plan your surgery, extractions, and so on. I love this case because it's so challenging. It's so challenging. You need to start somewhere. You don't know where to go, how to do, but you have the starting point, and then step by step, you can follow the idea of the treatment. Of course, what would follow in this case, importing into the smile, into the case, the lower jaw. The lower jaw is in centric occlusion with the upper jaw anyway. So then we need eventually, with the bite registration, to set a new vertical dimension of occlusion in the next step, recalibrate the lower jaw in the new vertical dimension of occlusion, generate the lower smile now based on the upper design. That's super easy, because if we generate the lower smile based on the upper design, it's going to be generated and in position and in occlusion and in function automatically. And then we do have the next step of the design, the next step of the thinking of the treatment plan, and so on. Of course, when you bring the DICOM files, when you bring the implant position, the post-op files, then we can go and do more precise planning and adjusting the design. So that's the workflow of the full art implant bridge. I had a very interesting discussion with Professor Alessandro Pozzi from Rome. He's also a very passionate researcher and dentist and surgeon. And what I didn't understood actually, that we are so close to just add the connector for the teeth and not to use, for example, in some cases, the prosthesis gingiva. Because if we can connect all the teeth, then we can create also a full art implant bridge without a gingiva. And then if you have cases in which, let's say, the gingiva is good and healthy, then you can just put the prosthesis of the teeth on top, and it looks beautiful. It looks very natural, and That's something that we're going to also add, because that's really a thing of a couple of days. Add the connector, like a pipe that connects all the teeth together and union them, right? And then with the scan bodies and with the implant position, then you can define where is your where is your position for the implants. Good. So that's the first step, right? That's the first step for all this stuff. Now, if we want to plan something more, or let me ask you, do you have a question so far? So do we have in the chat any questions so far?
We have on the Q&A, Ralph, some questions.
Oh, okay. I have the wrong button here. Good. Yeah, then with the calibration, it is very, very, yeah. We try to so just make sure that the landmarks that you select from the picture and from the intraoral scan are as precise as possible. Then we're gonna be able to have a very, very good calibration, and then with small adjustments you are done. We used to be able to good alignment with 3D bellows between photos, picture scan, and iOS, but making a good alignment with the 1-2D pictures and the 3D iOS is not easy. Yes, so the way we calibrated before was picture, so intraoral scan to picture, and facial scan to picture. But that was not working because the Bellows 3D facial scan is distorted. It doesn't have the same size like the picture. To avoid this kind of issues, you can, if you have a intraoral facial scan, you're gonna calibrate intraoral scan with picture and intraoral scan with facial scan. So we're gonna have like two different objects that, and they are gonna be, they are not aligned to or connected to each other. The picture with the STL is one thing, the facial scan with the STL is the other thing. Now we do have some testing with a company from China called Shining 3D, and Shining 3D, they just made a very, very good facial scanner in which the mouth area is not distorted. And I'm very excited to see the final product, because the lip, the round lip, the teeth, not distorted at all. So the landmarks that you could put on the intraoral scan and on the facial scan were super accurate. And then if we have the DICOM file, the segmented STL file from the DICOM file, calibrated with the intraoral scan, calibrated with the facial scan, the implant position, then we can have a beautiful digital patient with the full treatment in this digital head. And with this, with the opacity sliders, you can see all the layers and all the positions of the implants, of the design and everything. So that's gonna be exciting, but the technology of the facial scan really needs to get better, because since 4 years now, everybody is struggling and the mouth area is not good enough. So it's gonna be. No, you don't need any external software to align anything. So if you do have the DICOM file inside the Smilefy, you can segment the DICOM file. So the STL bone, it's integrated automatically in the project, and then you calibrate the intraoral scan with the STL bone, with the STL bone of the head. So and then you have all the layers aligned. You don't need any external software. And now with DynoCAD, Alex showed me that even the intraoral scan and the CBCT, they align automatically. So in one of the next updates from DynoCAD, which is integrated in Smilefy, you're gonna get both back into the calibration screen, and then you can get everything super aligned and really good aligned. Of course, yeah. So if you can do any reference, you know, when you scan, or if you take the picture, right? If you take the picture and you can set any reference for the midline, for the gingiva, whatever it is, you can do it, and then it's easier because you have more references to calibrate easier. Yes, of course. So any any creative idea is, of course, welcome. Yes, I can show you a case, but I cannot show the patient. So I need to open the case and just make sure that the face of the patient is not going to be visible, and then I can show you how with the DICOM how everything is looking like. So let's discuss in the meantime. Implants can be replaced with the temporary abutments. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something that you can do. It's something that you can do if you can in the printed bridge, you can make the holes bigger, right? Bigger than actually than they are, and then you can print and try, of course. Good. So let me show you now the second more complex workflow, because this workflow is interesting because we have a broken denture or a broken full arch implant bridge. We have new vertical dimension of occlusion. We have the scan with the implant, with the scan bodies. We have PIC or ICAM files, 3D files, right? And we calibrate everything together, and we create the full arch implant bridge based on all the data that we have. That's the second workflow, but the second workflow is post-op, because you have the position of the implants, and with PIC Dental you have also the very precise position of the scan bodies. So then you can just exchange the scan bodies with the implant abutments and everything, and then you can plan your full arch implant bridge properly, seeing where the position of the implants are. Of course, with different workflows, that would be the ideal workflow, to have a workflow that allows you to bring the to print and immediate loading to try out the design in the mouth of the patient. So, okay, let me open then this case. And we're gonna go through the layers. So now, you know, with every single option that you have, we need, of course, to check different situations, but I think we covered with our workflow pretty every situation. If you have a patient, you can take a picture with the wax ring. You can calibrate the wax ring with the picture, with the intraoral scan. Then we have everything in one place. Then we can design. So we need to check if there are more workflows or more real-time situation. And then we can create this workflow so that we make sure, you know, at the end of the day, we really cover everything what we need to cover. And we can create a very, very specific workflows and everything what we need. Good. So let's see what we have here. Good. So number one, we do have. Okay, you see that's gonna be the update. The update, I organized a little bit the sliders. I organized the 3D layers, because if we have cases like this, it's a lot of stuff here, right? It's a lot of stuff. So to make it easy, I organized a little bit the maxilla, mandibula, and centric occlusion. And the filters show you, number one, the intraoral scans. So purple is intraoral scan. White is design. Pink, or whatever this color is scan bodies, and gingiva, so generated objects. And red actually is generated objects. So now, if you want to see only the intraoral scans, for example, right, you can have the sliders from the intraoral scans like this. Let me reduce the opacity so that we can see everything one by one. Okay. So what do we have? We have the maxilla and we have the mandibula. Original scan. Okay. Maybe I go in free view like this. Original scan. Then we have the maxilla and the mandibula with the scan bodies. Good. Then we have the upper and lower design generated automatically you see in occlusion, in function, like this, when we generate the full arch implant bridge. If we turn on the lights, then we have this special 3D rendering so that we can make actually the teeth look like real teeth with light reflection and everything. We can change the position of the light, and it looks very, very nice in the mouth of the patient, because then it looks like teeth, right? When you want to see first how everything looks like in the mouth of the patient, you have this option of rendering and seeing the smile in a real light. Good. So we do have the design now. What is the next? The next is we do have, let me reduce the design, and I see the scan bodies. The position of the scan bodies, you can have this position of the scan bodies with Peak Dental or with iCam, right? So now here is the design. Here is the position of the implants. And then we have the gingiva. The gingiva that you can select here in templates, gingiva models, right? Upper, lower gingiva. And you have also pieces of prosthesis. If you, for example, have an extraction and you have bone loss, then you can use just one for the central, for the lateral, for the canine, and so on. Now we have the full arch implant bridge. If you turn on the lights, then you get a very nice representation of your full arch implant bridge. And that's how everything looks superimposed, right? Like this, and lower design and upper design, and then we have here the maxillas. Now we need to adjust the position of the gingiva so that we can have the implant position correctly. placed and so on. And the idea is to print. You can go again to the CAD features. You can unify. We're going to create an all-on-X workflow, because now when we do have the design done, right? Every single tooth is an entity, is a tooth. The gingiva is also a layer. So everything is now are many, many layers. What we can do is with the all-on-X, we unify all the teeth, maxilla with the gingiva, mandibula with the gingiva. So then you have only one object, gingiva and teeth. And then we can subtract the gingiva, the intraoral scan, from the full arch implant bridge. Then you get the form of the gingiva in your full arch implant bridge. You can use the mesh editor files to smooth out the edges, right? And then you can do the difference between the pipes of the implant and the prosthesis. And then you get the full planning. I hope I can integrate also the implant libraries as soon as possible. So I talk to many companies now. If we can integrate also the libraries from the implants, then you have the scan bodies. You just exchange the scan bodies automatically with the full implant. We take the pipe, we resize the pipe so that it goes through the prosthesis to the full arch implant bridge. You create the hole, and everything is going to be very, very easy and guided, right? And guided. So that's a little bit of it's a post-op workflow, but the generation of the full arch implant bridge is very, very easy, and the generation of the full arch implant bridge is actually just one step: setting the occlusal curve properly on your scan, and the size of the arch, defining the size of the arch properly. And then upper and lower arch is generated automatically, and that's perfect. That's good enough. And you can go from there, facially driven, and design all this stuff. So now, Adrian, are you here? Let me see. I think Adrian is here. He can show, of course, the final case. So how he did the surgery and the pictures and everything. And let me see if Adrian is here. Yeah, you're here. You send me. Where are you, Adrian? But what's your name, Adrian? What's your name in the list? I don't see your name. Oh, that's you, Adrian.
Okay.
Ah, that's you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Panelist. Hi, Adrian. Okay, so welcome, Adrian. Thank you so much for presenting and being with us. So let me see if yes, you can share your screen. So let's see how this patient ended up then with the full surgery and with the prosthesis.
Ralph, I need you ability my video.
Yeah, you can. You can share the screen now.
I can't. Okay.
You can. Huh?
Okay. Let me.
No, you're a panelist
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Let me see. Make co-host. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yes.
Can you see? Can you see
Yes.
this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
First of all, thanks so much for this opportunity, Ralph, and thanks for all of you. I'm sorry for my weak English. I'm trying to speak the best I do, okay? The other way,
your language is surgery, and your language is surgery. That's the
okay,
best
okay,
language.
okay. I try to speak in English. The other ways, I speak in Spanish. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. This is me. You can take a picture and reconnect directly to my Instagram. Okay. This is Ralph and I'm in this opportunity in Brazil with our friend Rafael. Okay. This is the most important things about the app. The important the phase to decide the treatment. Okay, we need film take not only a picture. We need take a video because the movement, the lips and tip and people talking is very, 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 very important to make take the decision to the design. Okay.
Yeah.
For this,
so so the video recording or the video interview of the patient is so important.
yeah,
To design the facial driven smile, because if you check on the left side, the bottom, the second gentleman, right? The second gentleman, you see that in the rested position when he talks, his upper teeth are almost not visible, right? Almost not visible. So when we design the smile, the way he has actually the teeth, we're going to design a beautiful smile and he's not going to show anything, right, Adrian?
right. This is why I take a video in the first appointment. We talk with kind with my patient. We drink a coffee and talk and film this appointment. Okay, this is very important for me. I'm sorry, my presentation is in Spanish. This is all decision of treatment is guide for the rostro for the face. Okay. Then this is the work. Just show you Ralph. This is the first impression the Marcelo in the interview. He looks for the first time how we will look, okay? For the first time, okay? Ralph make this, okay? We work together. You can work together with Ralph or other people with, through the app. You can choose one designer for you, okay? And it's done. Now I don't have camera, okay? Okay, don't worry. Okay, I'm sorry. This is the treatment for Marcelo. I have all guide here, and maybe this week I will make the surgery. Okay, then I will send all the case for you, Ralph, and you can share the way all.
We can do a case report. We can do a case report and send everybody a case report from the design to the final surgery. Okay,
this is me. This is of course, is if I don't believe in something, I don't do it. Okay, for this reason, I believe in this app. I believe in Ralph. I believe in all work he do, and we did this. I take a selfie, I auto design, then I share to Ralph. Okay, I told to Ralph, please design me in 3D. I went to Buenos Aires before take a plane. Ralph designed when I start in Buenos Aires. I have all this. Okay.
Yeah.
Mock-up. Okay. Mock-up. Yes. Then they did me the injection flow technique because I believe in this. Okay. Is the other case, complex case.
It's also a very, very hard case.
I love the complex case. Okay.
Yeah.
The patient come to me for aesthetic problems and other problems. This is the 2D project. The guy design. I work with Keep Guide design. This is all design driven for the face. I sent to this company the project, the design, okay, the prosthetic design, and they back the guide. Okay, this is all surgery. I did this surgery in 45 minutes. Okay. This is the immediately result. Okay. He looks for the first time with his teeth. Okay. This is 1 week later. Okay.
Yeah.
People change all. Okay. For outside and inside.
Yeah.
We change life. Okay. We can change life. Is the most important things in this day with our work, and with these tools is so easy. It's easy for the patient find the solution. Okay. This is the beautiful case. Valentin is a very important medical doctor here in Mendoza, Argentina, where I live, and he came to me in this condition. Then again, Ralph, we have work to do because I love work with Ralph. This is the reason I love work with Ralph. Okay, this is the plan, and we can make the different dentistry 100% adapt to the patient necesidades needed. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Valentin, they in few minutes, in few seconds, they told you his her necesidades. Okay. The first step, the workflow is the first step is the intraoral scan. Second step is the project 2D, okay, 3D, okay. Second appointment, in this case, I milk all the patient tooth, okay, and create this. This is PMA. Okay. Why I did this? Because Valentin needed. Okay. Maybe you think why I don't make surgery, implant surgery. Okay. Now I show you all. This is a immediately result. Okay. Now Valentin tells you he has cancer and he has 1 year's lifetime. Okay.
Yeah, 1 year to live.
Okay. He go to die. Okay. Then the best treatment for this case is this PMA for 6 months, 1 year, no more, because Valentin goes to die.
The latest stage,
Okay.
He's
Okay.
he has cancer and he's in the latest stage of cancer. So in the for this period, Valentin has now a decent smile. He can eat, he can smile, and he can do all the stuff. Thank you, Adrian. Adrian,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thanks.
you and all. I hope you like. Okay.
Thanks. Of course. These are
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Adrian. These are very.
Any question? Any question?
In the chat, maybe in the chat. Let me see.
Sorry for my English, please. Sorry.
How do we adapt the gingival base to the bony cut maxilla before printing?
In what case? In this case,
or maybe in general? We don't adapt the gingival base to the bone cut maxilla before printing. We can cut the bone digitally.
Exactly.
Digitally, or otherwise you design facially driven. You have a starting point, and then you are gonna continue the design after you cut the bone.
Or the other way is create a bone cut guide. Okay, you can design the surgery, the bone cut. Then you can put the implant guide or etc. Okay.
Okay, can you show us the processor aligning scan bodies with PIC scan? Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thanks so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thanks, man. Hermano, gracias. So let me show you the process of Adrian has very you see complex cases and sometimes also very emotional cases with people that just are sick and they're gonna die, and then we do something to make the rest of their life in a way in dignity. So okay, let me show you the process with the scan bodies. So the way it works, it is like this. Let me download the files. So actually it's very easy because it is let me see here for example are the scan bodies, right? So the way we do is like this. We do have the intraoral scan with the scan bodies, and we have the scan bodies from PIC Dental, right? Or iCam, whatever you use. You set the same points like this, and then you can set the points and we are superimposing them. Of course, you can reduce, for example, the opacity to see if everything is superimposed properly. And you still have here, you see the option to readjust the position, to readjust the position. If in this case, for example, the scan bodies in the scan are pretty distorted, right? Pretty distorted. So we have then the superimposition like this. That's it. It's always the same. We set 3 points. You see, these are the scan bodies. Here is the intraoral scan. We set 3 points on the intraoral scan, on the scan bodies, and then we calibrate. Point, we calibrate, and then we still can manually adjust and make sure that the scan bodies are the calibration is accurate, and we can continue our planning. So what I want to show you now at the end of the presentation, we do have hands-on program, right, to build up all the knowledge and all the workflows that you need to be able to start with simple cases and then go with the most complex cases that you have. In the meantime, I'm going to open also the case with the DICOM file, I think, and then we can also take a look. So we do have a special offer. We do have the special offer with all the CAD features and the DICOM files and everything what we have inside the app. It's called the full suite, the premium plan, right? For $2,599, and the Smile Designer certification course today in person or online, whatever you decide is included. So we're gonna build up. You're not gonna get the software just the license, and then you need to try out somehow to find out how to use it. We're gonna have courses, then we build up step by step, and we make sure that we have enough knowledge to build everything from the Smile simulation to the to build up the knowledge from the simple Smile simulation, taking pictures, intraoral scans, to the more and more complex workflows when it comes to, of course, full arch implant bridges or veneers or temporaries or shells and so on. Okay, so that's our special offer for you, online or today in person here in Miami, North Miami, in Hallandale. In our offices, we do have limited spaces in our offices. So for the hands-on courses, we always book 20 people max, because we want the interaction. We want to spend time with everybody and then explain every single step. So if you are interested, please contact Samia. She can explain to you more. It doesn't have to be, next week, or you can come to the course whenever you want, or you can go and take the online course. The premium plan includes all the complete features. So please contact Samia for the courses and for the hands-on, super important. And here, as
I just left my email and my direct phone number in the chat. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as I promised you, here is, for example, the everything superimposed, right? Superimposed with the DICOM file, with the full arch implant bridge. But you see, there is something that I just realized, and I'm gonna find a solution. I'm gonna change it because that's interesting. The CBCT file is in a different position, of course, than the centric occlusion. but we do have the option to calibrate actually or export the CBCT file in two pieces, maxilla and mandibula, right? When we do this, then you're going to be able to have the correct position of the CBCT mandibula and maxilla in the correct position as a centric occlusion, and then it's going to be much more accurate for the designing process. But that's and this DICOM file is calibrated or segmented actually with DiagnoCat inside Smilefy. Here in diagnostics, if you go to diagnostics, you have here the option to segment the DICOM file, and that's the DICOM file that you get. And then, of course, superimposed with the intraoral scans. Where are we? Here, like this. And then with the design. So we do have a lot of stuff, but we try to start with the basics, right? Because if you understand the basics, how Smilefy works, digital records, digital patient, digital records plus calibration is a digital patient. I can put in the digital patient more and more files, more and more data. I have more data based on which I can plan. Then everything is going to be easier with every single case. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your time. Samia is at your disposal for questions and about our courses and plans and everything else. You are going to get the recording. Thank you very much and hope to see you soon. Bye.